Hello dear students, welcome into the second lecture on food chemistry. In the previous lecture, we have seen the introduction to food chemistry. Myself, Mr. Mangesh Bale, I am working as an assistant professor at Kokle Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Chawar. So in this video lecture, we are going to learn the physical method of food preservation, right? Into the previous lecture we have seen what is food preservation, what are the factors affecting on food material when we preserve the food material, then chemical methods of food preservation. This part we have seen in previous video lecture. So in this video lecture we are going to see physical methods. There are two types of physical method of food preservation. See in yellow colored square rectangular form. First one will be the pasteurization and second one will be the irradiation. These are the two physical methods of food preservation. In pasteurization, we are going to see importance of pasteurization, then methods of pasteurization. These two parts we are going to see into this pasteurization, and the second physical method will be the irradiations. Into these irradiations we are going to learn need or need and advantage of irradiation of food material and limitations. These are all sub concepts we are going to see under these two type of physical methods. First one, that is pasteurization. So first, what is pasteurization? Definition of the pasteurization. Pasteurization is a process of rapidly cooling liquids or food in order to kill microbes that may exploit their spoilage or cause disease. See, simple definition is there. पास्चराइजेशन में क्या किया जाता है? रैपिडली कूलिंग किसका? लिक्विड और फूड मटेरियल का करते हैं. क्यों करते हैं? बिकॉज ऑफ टू किल माइक्रोब्स. माइक्रोब्स क्या कर लेते हैं? जो भी फूड मटेरियल रहता है उसको स्पॉइल करते हैं और उससे डिसीज भी हो सकता है. उसको इसके लिए उसका क्या करते हैं? माइक्रोब्स को किल करते हैं. So this is the definition of pasteurization. Then pasteurization is not sterilization because it does not destroy every single organism in whatever food or liquid is being heated. Namely, pasteurization does not destroy bacterial spores. See, that means in pasteurization we cannot kill all 100% microbes, but some amount of that microbes we can easily maintain into the food material. The heating processes of pasteurization does not got lot enough to destroy these bacterial spores. Now, importance of pasteurization. Why important pasteurization? First, to render milk safe for human consumption by destroying all pathogenic microorganisms. See, milk, generally pasteurized milk we are consuming, right? That means to render milk which is coming from dairy or any other farmer, that for use of consumption by destroying all pathogenic microorganisms. Then second, to improve the keeping quality of milk by killing almost all spoilage organisms up to 88 to 99%. That means after pasteurization we can increase the keeping quality of what? Milk food material, right? And last one, to ensure longer shelf life for food. जो भी फूड मटेरियल रहता है उसका हम शेल्फ लाइफ जो कीपिंग क्वालिटी है उसका ज़्यादा दिन बढ़ा सकते हैं, किससे? इस पास्चराइजेशन प्रोसेस से, फिजिकल मेथड से, ठीक है। देन methods of pasteurization, there are total 5 methods of the pasteurization of milk food product. First one, wet pasteurization. Second, low temperature long time or batch pasteurization. In short, we can say LTLT method. That means low temperature long time or batch pasteurization. Third one, high temperature short time pasteurization. That is HTST. High temperature short time pasteurization. Fourth one, ultra pasteurization. That is UP. In short, we can say UP. Then last one, ultra high temperature pasteurization, that is UHT. These are the total 5 methods of pasteurization of milk food product. Now we will see one by one in detail. See, first one, wet pasteurization. What is that wet pasteurization? In this wet pasteurization involves heating the milk in large tanks or vats to 145 degree Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. इसमें क्या कर लेते हैं, जो भी मिल्क प्रोडक्ट जो रहता है, only milk, that milk will be kept into the large tanks or vat and heat up to 145 degree Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. This is the type typically used by farmers for their own consumption and is least harmful to milk's nutrients. Average shelf life is 7 to 10 days. ये जो वेट पास्चराइजेशन मेथड जो है उसको जनरली फार्मर्स यूज़ करते हैं, किसके लिए? उनको खुद को खाने के लिए। इसमें क्या होता है, जो भी मिल्क न्यूट्रिएंट्स जो भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं वो मतलब ख़राब नहीं हो जाते, वो वैसे रहते, क्योंकि ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर में हम हीट नहीं करते। और जो भी मिल्क हमने वेट पास्चराइज किया हुआ जो भी मिल्क रहेगा उसका एवरेज शेल्फ लाइफ 7 to 10 डेज रह सकता है, मतलब 7 से 10 दिन तक वो इजीली रह सकता है, ख़राब नहीं हो जाएगा। देन सेकंड वन, लो टेम्परेचर लॉन्ग टाइम, that is LTLT method or batch pasteurization. In this type of pasteurization, milk is heated to 63 degrees Celsius, that is 145 degree Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, then cooled as rapidly as possible to 4 degrees Celsius. See, in name itself indicates its process, right? It's low temperature long time, 63 डिग्री सेल्सियस टेम्परेचर को हम मिल्क हीट करते हैं, ठीक है, फॉर 30 मिनट्स लॉन्ग टाइम, ओके, एंड रैपिडली कूलिंग आफ्टर दिस entire process up to 4 degrees Celsius. This is the second one. Then third one, high temperature short time, that is HTST pasteurization. That means इसको ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर लगेगा लेकिन वेरी फॉर short period or short time period. What is that? We will see. It is then modern method of pasteurization of milk. Then milk is heated to 72 degrees Celsius, that is 161 degree Fahrenheit for 15 seconds only. सी, थोड़ा हाई टेम्परेचर को हम ये हीट करेंगे, ठीक है, बट ओनली फॉर व्हाट? 15 सेकंड, एंड promptly cooling to 5 degrees Celsius or below. Then average life of this milk will be what? 7 to 10 days. This is the high temperature short time pasteurization. This is third one. Now we will see fourth one, ultra pasteurization. In short, we can say UP. In this pasteurization, the milk is heated to 280 degrees Celsius for 2 seconds only. अल्ट्रा पास्चराइजेशन में क्या कर लेते हैं, जो भी मिल्क रहता है उस मिल्क को 280 डिग्री सेल्सियस को हीट कर लेते हैं, लेकिन ओनली फॉर व्हाट, 2 seconds. Then high pressure is required to reach this high temperature. It is destructive to its nutritional quality. This method is used because it extends the refrigerated shelf life of milk to 60 to 90 days. C. ये जो अल्ट्रा पास्चराइज किया हुआ जो भी मिल्क है उसकी शेल्फ लाइफ जो है वो बहुत दिन टिकती है. कितने दिन? 2 या 3 महीने, राइट. इसमें जो भी न्यूट्रिशनल क्वालिटी जो भी मिल्क होती है वो पूरी की पूरे डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाती है. दैट मीन्स easily not grow the microorganisms into this milk. Then last one, ultra high temperature, that is UHT. The milk is heated to again 280 degrees Celsius to 302 degree Fahrenheit for 1 or 2 seconds. इसमें क्या कर लेते हैं, 280 to 302 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट तक मिल्क को हीट कर लेते हैं ओनली फॉर व्हाट, 1 or 2 seconds, followed by packaging in air tight containers. Into the airtight container this milk will be heated. If allows storage without refrigeration for up to 90 days, high pressure is required to reach this high temperature. सी, इतने ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर को हमें क्या करना है, 1 या 2 सेकंड ही उसको उस टेम्परेचर को रखना है और रैपिडली कूल करना है. ठीक है. और उसकी जो कीपिंग क्वालिटी है इसकी अल्ट्रा हाई टेम्परेचर पास्चराइजेशन प्रोसेस की वो 90 डेज तक है. इसके लिए भी हाई प्रेशर विल बी रिक्वायर्ड. ओके, सो दीज आर द टोटल 5 pasteurization methods for milk. Now we will see the next pasteurization methods of pasteurization, physical methods, that will be the irradiation. Pasteurization we have completed. Now the second physical method will be what? Irradiation. First we will see the definition of this irradiation. Food irradiating is a process of exposing foodstuff to controlled amount of ionizing radiations such as gamma rays, X-rays or electron beam to destroy pathogenic microorganisms. सी, इसमें क्या कर लेते हैं, जो भी हमारा फूड स्टफ, जो भी फूड मटेरियल रहता है उसको क्या करते हैं, एक्सपोज करते हैं. किसके साथ? आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन के साथ. वो क्या है आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशंस? दैट आर gamma rays, X-ray और इलेक्ट्रॉन बीम. दीज आर दी आयोनाइजिंग रेडिएशन. उससे एक्सपोज कर लेते हैं फूड स्टफ को. देन क्यों कर लेते हो? टू डिस्ट्रॉय ऑल पैथोजेनिक माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स. दिस इज द irradiation process. Gamma rays are generated from radioisotope like cobalt-60 or cesium-137, and X-rays are emitted by metal atoms excited by electron beams, and electron beams are generated from linear accelerator powered by electricity. See, gamma rays will be prepared from what? Radioisotope, that is cobalt-60 or cesium-137, and X-rays are emitted by metal atoms excited by electron beams, and third part will be what? Electron beam that are generated from linear accelerator which is powered by electricity. The radiation dose, the quantity of radiation on absorbed by food, and the fourth one word will be, it is measured in terms of 8 gray. In short, we can say GY. That means 1 gray is equal to 1 joule absorbed per kg of food. Its unit will be what? Gray. That will be 8 gray. But into this 1 gray is equal to how much? 1 joule absorbed per kg of food. Food absorbs energy when exposed to emerging radiations. This causes the formation of short-lived molecules known as free radicals, which kills bacteria and all the microorganisms in food stuff without raising temperature, and hence radiation process is known as cold sterilization. This process is what? Cold sterilization. Now, need and advantages of irradiation of food material. उसके क्या फ़ायदे और उसकी क्या नीड है वो हम अब देखेंगे. फर्स्ट वन विल बी द टू इफेक्टिव क्लाइमेट और reduce the levels of pathogenic or spoilage microorganisms. Second, to extend the shelf life of foods. Third, to destroy insects or pests. Fourth, to destroy sprouting, example potatoes, and fruit ripening to increase longevity. Fifth, irradiation can be used to sterilize foods which on then be stored for years without refrigeration. Sixth number, sterilized foods are useful in hospitals for patients with severely impaired immune system such as patients with AIDS, that is AIDS, or undergoing chemotherapy. That means sterilized or irradiated food material will be useful for what? Patient with AIDS and undergoing chemotherapy patient. Limitations, it can be used on a limited range of foods. It is relatively expensive technology, and last one, it is ineffective against viruses. So these are the limitations of the irradiation. Now the last part of this today's lecture, that is determination of boric acid by titrimetric method. That means how to determine boric acid by titrimetry. For that, the procedure will be about 10 gram of food sample are ground finely followed by dry ashing. 10 ग्राम फूड मटेरियल हमें लेना है, ठीक है, उसको ग्राइंड करना है फाइन पाउडर. देन द एश इज देन treated with lime water, 2.5 molar NaOH and 0.5 molar sulfuric acid to convert the boric acid into the free state. Third, mannitol is then added to convert boric acid into a relatively strong monobasic acid. Fourth one, this is then titrated with standardized 0.2 molar sodium hydroxide solution in the presence of phenolphthalein indicator till a permanent pink color is obtained. Then amount of boric acid present can then be calculated by using the relationship 1 ml 0.2 molar NaOH is equal to 0.0116 gram S3BO3, that is boric acid. This is the relation. With the help of this relation we can find out or calculate the amount of boric acid that will be present into the food sample material. So this is the procedure actually. Then for that, then the second, determination of sodium benzoate by HPLC method. Either when present the sodium benzoate into the foodstuff, we can determine with the help of high performance liquid chromatography. For that, reagents and standard will be used, that is deionized water and AR grade or reagent grade will be 99%. Conditions for that, we require columns. The column material will be iron pack AS18 analytical or iron pack AG18 guard. These are the two types of columns that will be used for the determination of sodium benzoate by SPLC method. Then eluent here, that means eluent solution will be 35 millimole KOH from 0 to 20 minute. Flow rate of this HPLC instrument 1 ml per minute. Temperature 30 degrees Celsius and injection will be 25 microliter. Here is UL, that is wrong. That is microliter. That means we have to inject 25 microliter sample into the column through the injection port. First, standard solution of benzoate. Here we are going to prepare the standard solution. For that, dissolve 0.119 gram sodium benzoate in a 100 ml of deionized water. Working standards between 1 to 100 ppm were prepared by serial dilution from 1000 milligram per liter. That will be the concentrated or concentrate. And last, preparation of sample. The HPLC technique can be used to determine the concentration of sodium benzoate in the sample. The procedure adopted is as a approximately 20 ml of water is added to 5 gram each of the sample and then homogenized for 10 minutes. Carbonated sample should be degassed in a ultrasonic bath before dilution. All samples are diluted with deionized water by 1:100 before analysis. The extraction of sodium benzoate is made by methanol. The mixture is thoroughly mixed with 35 ml of methanol. The volume is made 200 ml with water and filtered through Wattman paper number 1. So this is the procedure for the preparation of the sample. There are different techniques, that are the extraction process are there, various chemical treatments are there that we are going to follow into this sample preparation for HPLC determination of the sodium benzoate. So into the next lecture we are going to see the study the food product, that is milk, its adulterants. Today's lecture here will be off. Thank you.